Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Grey Millstone that rule well. Shalom to the prophets at that body, and shalom to the 144,001 third. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end. I know things are getting a little bit, I would use the term pressurized for a lot of you hopeful elect. But remember, that's all part of the test. Yeah, it pisses you off. You know, you feel like choking somebody. But remember, the Lord said, you cast your burdens upon Him. He's not going to let the righteous, the righteous won't be compelled to be moved. Loosely paraphrasing, okay? All right, so just be patient, okay? And cry to Yahweh Hashem Shai, okay? Now, nevertheless, I'm sure everybody has pretty much heard the horrific story of this young man over here, this young Israelite. Who, funny enough, this is him here, young athletic Jake. I believe he was, being an Israelite and all, he's got that soul spirit, that excellence in terms of sports and education. He had both parents in his life, mother and father and mother, right? So he was being raised right, and our people have a very loving spirit where they can pretty much get along with anybody and everybody. And if you're an Israelite foreigner like myself, and you don't have the so-called Negro look, right? But you are a man of color, which I am, right? If you know, especially in the UK, or even in Canada or America, right? If you go around Benjamin, or if you go around some of the tribes, they're pretty much easygoing, you know. They're not going to bother you, They don't have that evil spirit, even though the curses are upon our people. But I guess the hopeful elect, not I guess, I mean the hopeful elect are protected. So hence the reason why some of us have had better experiences with our people than negative. Okay, I've had negative experiences too. All right, with Jake. Pretty much Jake's been I've had more problem. Well, yeah, you know. But our people can get along pretty much with anybody. And this young man, I also checked, where did he grow up? 1 second. All right. I typed in AI, where did Nolan Xavier Wells grow up? He grew up in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Now you would think, he's a young 18-year-old young lad, right? His father is more than likely in his late 40s or early 50s. So he grew up in a different time. So he was like a 70s baby. So obviously at that time, all the political uprisings, all the Khalid Mohammeds, the Farrakhan's, and obviously, most importantly, the truth of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, all this was hitting the Israelite communities, or the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. So I'm sure he was, plus all the movies and shows of, Kunta Kinte and all that, and all the highlighting of slavery, and how the white man is so-called white man, Esau Edom, is a devil. You would think this knowledge will be passed on to his son as well. But what it is with our people, because we want to go along to get along, we want to trim our ways, we want to be part of society, we want to look at everybody on a level, everybody that we see that of a different ethnicity on the same level playing field, because we want to treat others how we want to be treated. So basically, the scriptures, we are utilizing them, but in the wrong way. When those scriptures, the Bible is for our people, okay? The love is for our people, okay? Being fair is for our people, amongst the brotherhood of Jake, all right? Not for the damn devil, okay? Let me go to some scriptures first. Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 2:33. Easy read. Let's try easy reading version. See what that shows up as. I'm just curious. Let's see what the is it 2:33, right? 2:33, yep, 2:33. Lord willing, I can find it. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, come on, son. Jeremiah. Oh, for crying out loud! 1 second. No, that's not good. That's completely something else. Let's go to NLT. Try the NLT. Yeah, let's try this one. Jeremiah 2:33. This is the New Living Translation. Okay, 2:33. How you plot and scheme to win your lovers. Even an experienced prostitute could learn from you. Okay, and that's what Jake did. Spiritually speaking, right? Spiritually speaking, that's what he did. You know, more than likely he's heard the stories. Okay, Esau, Edom, even if they're from whichever part of the world, they could have an evil nature. All right, me as an Israelite foreigner, before I even knew about the truth, I knew the so-called white man was a devil from the get-go. I never liked them when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. My dad working in construction would have so-called white friends. Maybe they were Israelite foreigners. I don't know. He would shoot the shit with them. None of them would come around the yard for a drink or nothing. But he was he was pretty easygoing with them. No racist shit was ever mentioned in my house where, oh yeah, the white man's a devil. This was all divine spiritual guidance from Yahweh Hashem Yeshai. I never trusted thine enemy, man. These enemies. I went to a school. All my schools I went to were predominantly 99% brown people. Okay, you're talking about Israelite foreigners, Elam, Ishmael, maybe some, and Portuguese Jakes thrown into the school, West Indian Jakes. We didn't have any Nigerian Jakes, but many West Indian Jakes, Benjamin. They're all brown. All my friends were brown guys, all Jake. Growing up, you know what I mean? I never felt comfortable around these devils. And this fool, this idiot, went along to an island on July the 4th, Independence Day. Yeah? Well, the Edomites got independent. They got independent from you. They separated you. It separated your soul from your body. If I'm saying everything correctly. On July the 4th, which is meant to be Independence Day. And this is just another example. On July the 4th, okay, right, you went out, and July the 4th, 1776, Jake was in slavery. So you were treated the same way they would have treated you in 1776, okay? They disguised it with some pictures, some photographs, some drink. And like one of these crackers is wearing a cross, by the way. So you would think he's a wacky-tacky Christian, love thy neighbor and all that, right? Which they don't understand the meaning of that anyway. He would be cool, all right? But they were all complicit in it, all right? And this picture I found on Facebook with all of them there, but other pictures, even news segments, have covered the crackers' faces up, the Edomites' faces up, okay? Now, if it was the other way around, it was 3 Jakes, right? And 1 Edomite, the Edomite went missing, Trump will be making a motherfucking statement right now. Okay, Esau will be up in arms. Usual suspects, you chimps. You're going to see the white man chimp out. Oh, we're going to come for you niggers. All that kind of shit. Where are you gangster Jakes now? Where are you new 9mm Glock Jakes? Where are you dreadlock-headed Jakes, man? with your do-rags across your face. All you have is all that anger and resentment and vigor and vitality and all that anger and everything, right? All that anger gets aimed at your own people. Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. But against the damn, and as Elder Bishop Manatazak would say, niggers' guns are only for other niggers. All right? All right? When is Judah going to get roused up, man? All right? They said that they're praying Nolan is found safe, but he's dead. Look. All right? July the 7th, 2026. Yesterday, 9:01 p.m. Body found, believed to be missing, Mississippi 18-year-old, absolutely devastated. All right? Look. Both parents, nice-looking family. All right? Young man is taller than his daddy. He looks like his mother. What a combination of both, right? You can see Jake probably in construction or maybe some kind of IT guy, mother probably a nurse or maybe a homemaker. Normal Israelite family, right? He wasn't, look at him. He was an athlete, look. All right? We'll go to the scripture, 1 second. Crying out loud, what's going on here now? No. All right, let's go to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay? How many times are you going to trust this devil? Okay? Oh, all white people aren't like that. They're all like that. All Edomites are like that. That's their nature. Okay? Now we're at the end day. Now we're in the last few seconds of their rulership. Now they're trying to say, let's try and all get along with so-called black people. All right, but in the height of their power in the 50s, in the 40s, were they singing those songs? No. You were going off to war, World War One, World War Two, the Korean War, so forth and so on up until this day, and then you come home being lynched. Okay, you couldn't even use the bathroom, peeing on the side of the road. Our women that join the army, Israelite women, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, they get graped by Edomites. Okay? Because you go there shaking your ass about wearing fucking extra schmedium army outfits, showing your figure, right? And Edomites, the seniors, the corporals, generals, I don't know these damn titles. Okay, they're all complicit into it. Okay, because they know they've got the power. They lusteth after women that look exotic, and they grape you. All right. Esau Edom, as our elders would say, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is the heavyweight title holder of bloodshed on this planet Earth. All right? And the receipts left everywhere in America and around the world should give you a fucking indication that these devils are no good. All right? But you Gen Zs, right? 70s and 80s children born in the 70s and early 80s had somewhat more common sense. All right, I never hung around with these crackers. You can fuck a white bitch all day long. That's no issue. But Edomite woman says to you, "Oh, come to my house, meet my parents." You say, "Hell no." She says, "Oh, let's go camping," and they're going to a location that's 100 miles away from your house. You don't know the location. You don't have your car with you. All right, they might be in the middle of nowhere because these crackers love to live in the woods and shit because they're the ancient wood wouses. They're the cave people, the cave dwellers, the Edomites. Right? They love that shit. They love being around nature. There's Esau spirit in it. They love being out there. Jake don't like being out there in the bugs, near bugs and shit. I hate camping. Right? I don't like being out there like that around bugs and shit. We like to be in a nice, clean environment, nice resort around our own people. Now, dealing with the Edomite woman, a heathen woman, that's cool. But leave it as the bedroom work and maybe hanging out, letting the bitch hang out with you now and again. All right? You don't ever, ever, ever go to an Edomite woman's house, eat their food. You don't ever go and visit her parents, even if they're so-called cool. Okay, you don't go camping with them. You don't go to some kind of music festival or honky music festival with a garbage ass rendition of so-called of what they call music, and to hang around with a bunch of Edomites, her friends, her female friends, and you're the only brother there. Okay, I don't give a shit if you're light skinned with hazel brown eyes or green eyes and you got straight hair and you're a so-called Latino. Okay, the curses still apply to you as well. All right, you understand? If you're not comfortable with it, you don't do it. All right, this guy trimmed his waist. All right, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10 again. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Has Esau Edom not shown you how they are? Huh? Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Okay? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Okay, Esau Edom's rust is not going to ever be wiped away. Even in the kingdom, those motherfuckers are going to have evil spirits jumping on them, and they're going to be thinking evil thoughts. Let's overthrow the Israelites, which ain't going to happen, of course. Okay, all right. The only way this rust is going to be erased, I'll say that, is after 1,000 years of slavery, and we burn these motherfuckers up. Obadiah 1:18. Okay, we're going to burn these Edomites up. There's not going to be one person left of the house of Esau or Edom, the Edomites. Okay. Verse 12, set him not by thee. Okay. Set him not by thee. All right. Is Xavier, what's his name? The young Jake, right? Okay. You had them by you, Jake. Okay, if you play in the team together or whatever your situation is, you're and your class friends together, leave it as business. Don't hang out with them. You hang out with your own. You want to date Becky or whatever? All right, I hate to use the word Becky because Rebecca is one of our foremothers, but let's just say you want to date an Edomite woman, deal with it. Deal with it. But leave it as straight getting your rocks off. Leave it at that. All right? That's as far as it goes. Dealing with Edomites is strictly with dealing with the Edomite woman. That's it. All right? Outside of work and business, you don't deal with these damn heathens, man. All right? I know our people are scattered everywhere, but the Spirit will guide you. If you're part of that sheep, the Lord will guide your steps, and you'll be okay with Israelite foreigners. Okay? But everyone's not a Jake. Someone who's cool with you is not a Jake. Remember, these devils are very cunning. How many times did they shake the hand with our native Indian brothers, the tribe of Gad? 400 plus treaties made, bruv, with Jake, with the Gadites, and with our other brothers from the other tribes. Every single treaty these crackers broke, man. These Edomites broke. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Okay? Didn't they overthrow us? But that was all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai, because we're going to have to get an ass whooping on this side, punishment. Now they're ruling. They're standing in our place. Okay? Their place is being moved. They're going to go into slavery. 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right? All right? When he hath overthrown thee, he stand in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. Thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Who's going to pity you, Jake? All right? All right? Everybody's having the same sentiment. Why were you hanging out with them? Why would you go to a remote island on July the 4th? July the 4th was a day for the Edomites. It was their thing. Was their new world. It wasn't a day for you. July the 4th, 1776. Okay? You know what? Through the Spirit, I believe July the 4th, 1776, they probably lynched you. These were probably the same Edomites in July the 4th, 1776, lynched you back then. And on this side, July the 4th, 2026, 250 years later, they deleted you again. All right. I don't know how you can hang out with Edomites. It's just fucking gross, man. Hell no. Now, if it was three white bitches, actually, no, because the Edomite women get freaky like that. Say, oh, you deal with all three of us at the same time. No, no. Even if you had three female so-called friends, that's cool. They're women. That's a different situation. But even with them, you got to be wary. All right. You don't go to no remote island with Esau anywhere. All right, where you're there by yourself and they got leverage over you. Never be in a situation like that. All right. Okay. All right, let's go here. Let's play the news segment.
In Mississippi after the death. This morning, the desperate search for answers in Mississippi after the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Authorities recovering a body believed to be the teen. Investigators and volunteers from the Cajun Navy spent the weekend urgently searching for Wells after he vanished from Horn Island on July 4th.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen about 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Later that night, when he didn't return home, his mother reporting him missing to police, then quickly taking to social media, posting pictures of the teen, pleading for help finding him. The heartbreaking discovery made about 8:45 Monday morning, when authorities say the Mississippi Community College wide receiver's suspected body was found in the water just off the shore. His mother writing, "His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated," describing Wells as a sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they suspect he drowned, but they're still interviewing friends who were with him as they work to pinpoint what exactly happened.
That's why we're still asking for information if anybody has anything, any knowledge.
And that information, the sheriff says, will help them paint a better picture of what happened to Nolan in the moments before his death. A toxicology report from the coroner's office is still pending. Guys?
Yeah, sad situation.
We are definitely thinking of Nolan's family and just hoping that they'll get the answers that they desperately are searching for.
I mean, there you go. You know? It's a horrific news for his mother, though, you know?
Like saving on this for us.
You know? So obviously now they won't be looking for the body. They found the body. Jake is pronounced dead. Okay, his mother got the news Monday morning, which was the 6th. All right. And ultimately, actually, you know what? Let me read a little bit of this. Because I don't know his name, so I typed in "young black man is missing. His 3 white friends came back." I typed a news story, but okay. The case you're referring to is a tragic disappearance and death of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells, a standalone athlete and standout football wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College. On July the 4th, 2026, July the 4th, 1776, you Jakes were slaves. And you got treated the same way. You think you're going to celebrate American Independence Day with your Edomite friends? Okay. Nolan traveled by boat. You were a slave in 1776, Jacob. You're a slave now. All right. On July the 4th, 2026, Nolan traveled by boat to Horn Island, a barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast, with a group of friends. Well, friends. Okay. Never trust thine enemy. They're enemies, with a group of enemies, while his friends returned to the mainland that evening. Nolan did not. Okay. You know how Jake is. Why would Jake stay somewhere alone? All right. It doesn't make sense. They killed him there. They probably took drugs. They probably got drunk. and they probably just deleted him. Okay. While his friends returned to the mainland that evening, Nolan did not, prompting his mother to report him missing and spark an intensive multi-agency water search. On Monday, 6th of July 2026, a park ranger discovered his body in the water near the northwest end of Horn Island, bringing the search to a devastating end. Now, why would you go to an island and be on boats and shit if you can't really swim? Okay, if you can't really swim, I know you'd be wearing a life jacket. Any Israelite that cannot swim, you'll be wearing a freaking life jacket, because with a life jacket, it can stay afloat and you can just utilize your arms and legs to move slowly but surely, right? You're not going to be sitting there posing, showing your six pack with no damn with the no life jacket. All right. Obviously, no immediate signs of foul play. They're going to say that shit. Of course, it's foul play. Three of those crackers are there, and nobody knows what happened. All right. It's just those ancient spirits coming back. All right. Those ancient spirits. Okay, autopsy. They haven't got the full autopsy yet. Okay, let's see if those Edomites are brought to justice. Okay. And you Jakes that hang around these crackers are stupid people, man. Stupid people. All right. Let's go to some. As horrific as it is all Yahweh Bashem Yashai. We don't know what this Jake did in a previous life to be rewarded with such a horrific death. I mean, drowning, being suffocated, a pillow over the face, or being your head pushed down, or being beaten and then being put into the water. However this Jake died is a horrific way to go. And it's very terrifying if you think about it. All right. All alone on an island, right? Fucking Edomites, right? Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Okay? Whoever perished being innocent. I mean, and the horrific, that wasn't a righteous death. Okay, that was murder, right? Literally murder, man. Just one more scripture, man. Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay? If the Lord has got your ticket punched to be deleted a certain way, it's going to happen. There is no way you can outrun it. You can't outrun it. Like in what's that movie, Final Destination? What happens in Final Destination? They try and outrun it, and in the end, what happens? They still get got. Because the Lord could play with you. Okay? Because the Lord has the angels on the right-hand side and his demonic angels on the left-hand side. Okay? But those Edomites that did it, right? They're going to get got. Because remember, every Edomite or heathen in America is gonna die in various ways. And the final one, the climax, will be the nuclear weapons. They're not going to get away in any shape or form. And when they die and come back, they're going to be slaves. Maybe the young lad will be their slave master in the kingdom. The Lord will make that happen. Well, the Jake will be born in the kingdom anyway. He's an Israelite, so he's good. Okay? But those crackers, they got nothing but hell coming to them. But the fact remains, they deleted this young chap. All right? Never trust thine enemy, Jacob. Be wary. Be circumspect, man. Because the days are evil. Okay? You got to be wary, man, of your surroundings. You got to be wary. Okay? You got to be wary, man. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there now. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakakorash, Mawathabad Babal, Kwam Yashwala Shalom.